I have something very exciting to share with you today. As you might know, my Thoughtfully Fit book is going to be released on June 1st. But this week, I got a copy in the mail as the author, and it's like the real thing. It's a book, you guys. It's absolutely crazy. When I think about how long I've been developing this model, I think about back to when we were trying to, see if I can get it here, trying to figure out, like, how do we take the research that we have on what gets in the way of being high performing, and how do we capture it in a compelling model that will help people to be able to utilize the strategies and skills that we know help you to get over those hurdles, those obstacles that get in the way. And we had so many different iterations and versions. I mean, this was years ago. And so to now see it here in print with like all of the hard work that Eliza and I and Jill and Kara, the whole team has been doing. And I thought that I would share with you today, for our Thoughtfully Fit Thursday, a little bit about what the book is about, because it's on pre-sale right now. And so if you want to order the book, you can go to Amazon or any of your favorite online retailers and pre-order it at Thoughtfully Fit. Well, you can, if you go to thoughtfullyfit.com, it's got all the links on there where you can pre-order it. And I thought I'd share with you what the book is about. The model was created using a coach approach to people problems, because I started to notice, after thousands of hours of coaching individuals, leaders, executives, managers, stay-at-home moms, you name it, that there were these themes that kept coming up over and over and over again, and that my clients all had the same struggles. Well, after years of taking that research and thousands of hours, we identified the top 6 obstacles that get in the way of being high performing. And this book outlines those 6 obstacles, those 6 people problems. And when I developed the model, and Liza and I started to create the book proposal about how we're going to design the flow and the chapters of the book, we went to a writing retreat with the 5th semester. And at the end of the first day, I said, oh my gosh, this is really good stuff. And it's really helpful for us to be able to outline the flow of Thoughtfully Fit and the arc of this book. At some point, I want to use the same process to write a proposal for a memoir, because Thoughtfully Fit helped me get through the worst people problem I had ever experienced when my husband was arrested 5 days after the model officially came to life. And Anne and Aaron, who were facilitating the writing retreat, they looked at each other and they're like, yeah, that is this book. And I'm like, no. This book is about Thoughtfully Fit, just the leadership model. The other one I'm thinking about is how I used it to apply the model, because I basically was ground zero to have to test drive all of the strategies that I'm, outlining. And they're like, yeah, that is this book. Oh my gosh, that was a scary thought. And Eliza and I took the challenge, and I could not have done it without her. And so the book is broken down into 4 parts. And I thought I'd give you an overview of each of those parts so that you can decide if it's a book for you, and something that will help you along your journey to get thoughtfully fit. So part 1 is engage your core. And you can see in the upper circle here, the pause, think, act. That is the core of Thoughtfully Fit. That's at the center, because no matter what obstacle you have, no matter what hurdle you are facing, big or small, it always comes back to engaging your core. And thoughtfully fit is a metaphor for if you're physically fit, you need to train and practice. It doesn't just happen. In the same way, to be thoughtfully fit, you need to train and practice. And when you are strong and have a really solid core physically, every movement is easier and you're less likely to get injured. In the same way, that's the core of thoughtfully fit. And so part one goes into the core and specifically breaks down steps 1, 2, and 3 and how do you do it. And when you have a strong core, you're able to identify your choices and focus on what you control. Then part 2 in the book goes into the internal practices. And so with the model, there are 3 external practices and 3 internal practices. Let's see if I can put that up here. Yeah. So the top 3 are where we get in our own way. And if you look at the definition of thoughtful, there's like, if you're not thoughtful, you don't think before you say yes to an engagement. You are not going to have that internal thoughtfully fit level. So stillness, strength, and endurance are the 3 internal practices where we get in our own way, where that inner trash talk maybe prevents us from having the endurance to work through obstacles that we really want to overcome, where we might not have the strength to consciously choose how we want to show up in every situation. And instead, we kind of go on default and overreact and say something we didn't mean, or where we don't have the courage to say no and to create some healthy boundaries and allow for stillness. And I find that a lot of my clients are in this space of, there's so much to do, I can't even think. So that is part 1. And then I'll put up here, part 2. And then part 3 goes through the external practices. So those are the practices where we have challenges with other people. That's the other definition, if you look it up in the dictionary, of thoughtful. It's like not being considerate of someone else. And we all know when somebody is not thoughtful and it doesn't feel good. And typically, if you're not thoughtful, if when you are responding to somebody and you overreact or you are blindsided and say something that you later regret, you're going to have to spend a lot of time and energy cleaning up the mess and dealing with the conflict that was created. And so the external practices of thoughtfully fit, flexibility, balance, and agility, help you to be able to handle yourself thoughtfully in any situation. And that's essential because then you can get back to doing what you do best instead of having to take time and energy cleaning up the mess from not handling yourself thoughtfully in the first place. Can you relate? Do you ever get blindsided and, yell, shut down, cry, react in a way on autopilot that makes it worse? I do too. You're not alone. And then the part 4 is thoughtfully fit OnCore. And that is really how you can apply it. And throughout the entire book, we have built in how the model and each of those pieces of the model helped me when I was dealing with SWAT teams and police and attorneys and angry moms, all sorts of chaos. And so woven throughout the entire book is my story and some really intimate, vulnerable, hard details of my story and how thoughtfully fit helped me. And I've got a story for each of those 6 practices and the core. We also then have strategies in each of the chapters on what do you do if you lack stillness, if you don't have the strength to show up how you want to in every situation. We identify strategies and then we have a case study. And so what does it look like and what are some of the examples that I have encountered dealing with my clients as it relates to each of those practices or the core. And it goes through all of them. And one of the things that I want to invite you to do is, if you are not sure what your biggest hurdle is, what gets in the way of you being successful, you can go to thoughtfullyfit.com and take a quiz. And that quiz will tell you your biggest hurdle. And that's helpful, because one of the things I talked about, this book is all about taking a coach approach to people problems. One of the things I do as a coach, I'm a master certified coach, and the power and the value that I bring to my clients is not in my expertise to be able to solve their problems. It's in my ability to hold them as the expert to help them solve their problems. It's all about helping my clients create new awareness. And so if you take the quiz, you will have some new awareness on which hurdle is your biggest. And when you have new awareness, then you get access to new actions. And so it's a step on your journey to be able to create some new awareness and have access to different choices, and to be able to focus on what you control to tackle those obstacles. So I hope that you will pre-order the book. You can also, if you pre-order it right now, you can also get some free gifts that are exclusive. And if you click on the link on that thoughtfullyfit.com website, you put in your order receipt, you will get access to the first chapter read by me, which is not available yet. And you'll also get a Thoughtfully Fit training, a video, an on-demand training to walk you through the practices and the model, and an invitation to our Thoughtfully Fit OnCore, our online Facebook community. So I'm so grateful that many of you have been on this journey with me from day one, when I launched my business, when I left Senator Cole's office. And some of you are brand new and just finding Thoughtfully Fit. I love that you are jumping on board to learn more and to train and practice and become thoughtfully fit. Wherever you are in that journey of understanding the model, I'm grateful for you being by my side. And I hope that you will pre-order the book. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Happy Thoughtfully Fit Thursday.